Have you ever looked down at your arm and noticed a large purple bruise? But you couldn't remember bumping into anything? Maybe it appeared overnight. Maybe someone asked, "Wow, what happened there?" And your answer was, "I honestly have no idea." If you're over 60, this happens more often than you might think. But here's the surprising part. That mysterious bruise may have less to do with clumsiness, and more to do with what's happening beneath your skin. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating science behind why older adults bruise more easily, what your bruises might be trying to tell you, and when a simple bruise could actually be a warning sign. Stay until the end, because one common medication taken by millions of seniors can dramatically increase bruising risk, and many people don't realize it. Let's start with a simple question. What is a bruise? A bruise occurs when tiny blood vessels called capillaries break beneath the skin. Blood leaks into surrounding tissue, creating those familiar shades of red, purple, blue, green, and yellow. What's fascinating is that the changing colors of a bruise are actually a timeline. Red means fresh blood. Purple and blue indicate oxygen is disappearing. Green appears as your body breaks down hemoglobin. Yellow signals the final cleanup phase. In other words, every bruise is like a tiny biological crime scene. Your body is investigating, repairing, and removing evidence all at the same time. But why does this process seem to happen much more frequently as we age? The answer starts with your skin. Here's a fact many people never hear. After age 20, the skin gradually becomes thinner with each passing decade. By the time someone reaches their 70s or 80s, their skin may be significantly thinner than it was in early adulthood. Think of youthful skin like a thick cushion. Now imagine that cushion slowly losing padding year after year. Eventually, the blood vessels underneath have far less protection. A small bump against a table. Carrying grocery bags. Even grabbing a handrail too firmly. These everyday activities can create enough pressure to break fragile capillaries. The result? A bruise appears, even though the impact seemed insignificant. This is one reason many older adults feel confused when bruises seem to come from nowhere. The injury wasn't necessarily stronger. The protection was simply weaker. Now let's talk about collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. It's often advertised as a beauty ingredient. But collagen does far more than reduce wrinkles. It acts like scaffolding that supports your skin and blood vessels. As we age, collagen production naturally declines. Imagine an old building losing support beams. The structure becomes weaker. The same thing happens beneath the skin. Blood vessels become more fragile. Minor impacts that once caused no damage can now lead to visible bruising. This explains why many healthy seniors suddenly notice bruises appearing more often than they did 10 or 20 years ago. It's not necessarily illness. It's biology. Here's a surprising culprit. The sun. Years of sunlight exposure don't just affect the surface of the skin. Ultraviolet radiation gradually damages collagen and connective tissues deep beneath the skin. Doctors sometimes call this solar purpura. You may have seen it. Large purple bruises appearing on the forearms or backs of the hands. These areas receive decades of sun exposure. What's remarkable is that the bruise may appear after only a very minor bump, or sometimes no remembered injury at all. In a sense, some bruises in older adults are actually a record of sun exposure accumulated over an entire lifetime. Your skin remembers every sunny day. Even decades later. Now we arrive at one of the biggest reasons bruising increases with age. Medications. Millions of older adults take blood-thinning medications or drugs that affect clotting. Examples include aspirin, warfarin, and newer anticoagulants prescribed for heart conditions. These medications save lives. But they also make bruising more likely. Why? Because they reduce the blood's ability to clot quickly. Even a tiny blood vessel leak may spread more extensively before the body seals it. The bruise becomes larger and more noticeable. Interestingly, some supplements can have similar effects. Fish oil, ginkgo biloba, vitamin E. In certain individuals, these may contribute to easier bruising. That's why healthcare professionals often ask about both medications and supplements when evaluating unexplained bruises. Here's another little-known fact. Certain nutrient deficiencies may make bruising worse. Vitamin C helps maintain healthy blood vessels. Vitamin K helps blood clot properly. Protein supports tissue repair. When nutrition becomes inadequate, the body's ability to maintain strong tissues and repair damage may decline. This doesn't mean every bruise signals a deficiency. But nutrition is one important piece of the puzzle. Your skin, blood vessels, and healing systems all depend on the nutrients you provide every day. Most bruises are harmless. But sometimes they deserve attention. You should speak with a healthcare professional if you notice. Frequent bruises with no obvious cause. Bruises that suddenly increase. Very large bruises after minor injuries. Bruising accompanied by bleeding gums. Frequent nosebleeds. Extreme fatigue. Tiny red or purple spots on the skin. In rare cases, unusual bruising can be associated with blood disorders, clotting problems, liver disease, or other medical conditions. The key message is simple. Occasional bruising is common. Sudden changes are worth investigating. Your body often provides clues long before serious symptoms appear. So why do older adults bruise more easily? The answer is a combination of factors. Thinner skin. Reduced collagen. Years of sun exposure. More fragile blood vessels. Medications. And sometimes nutritional changes. The next time you discover a mysterious bruise, remember. It doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. In many cases, it's simply a visible reminder of how the body changes with age. But it also serves as a fascinating glimpse into the incredible systems working beneath your skin every day. And sometimes, those purple marks tell a much bigger story than we realize. Have you ever found a bruise and had absolutely no idea where it came from? Tell us in the comments below. And if you learned something surprising today, please like this video and subscribe for more science-backed health insights designed especially for adults over 50. Because understanding your body is one of the most powerful tools for staying healthy as you age. See you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm your health partner.